Hey, I'm Noodle Yeti, and this is the 24th part in a series we're doing where we build a city called Westdale. This part we're actually going to be just focusing on adding in trees and props, fences, you name it. We're just going to be adding it around some of the completed areas. Over the past couple parts, pretty much we only did two things, is build airports and build a couple commercial areas. Hey, Future Yeti here. Just wanted to let you know that this episode is going to be containing a lot of longer time lapses, so if that's not what you're into, you don't like things like that, then this might not be the video for you. But thank you for clicking on it anyways, and if you do like these longer time lapses, then thank you for watching it. I hope you enjoy. Back to Pasta-Getty. I'm going to go ahead and call this area completed. I might, as a part of the detailing, if I can fit any in here, some airport props. I'm not quite sure if they could fit or where they'd fit, but I think it would be just kind of nice just to add to the level of detail within this area, so it's not just an airfield in a big empty space. We're probably also going to have to think about what goes on over here in between the warehousing and this commercial area, considering we just finished this as well. We probably might want to think about protecting these people from the rail line as well. This area over here is going to be a little bit strange. I think I'm going to separate it out into the amusement park as well as some of these empty spots in the midst of the commercial and things like that. As far as the amusement park goes, it's pretty much almost done. I think if I could figure out what to do with this empty space, that's it. Because I had already gotten bored when I was doing the episode about tourism, and as you can see, I put down plenty of props of my own already. So I think this one just needs some final touches, like a gate or a fence and just some trees and bushes in the surrounding area. As far as the airport goes, I think there's really not much I can do. I think I'm going to add a couple more props, maybe expand this a little bit, not with anything functional, just decorative. But I don't want to go too far into this area because I have some plans for what I'd like over here. And I don't want to go too far in this direction because I also have some plans for what I'd like to do in this particular area. So I think that pretty much covers all the areas I wanted to touch up on. We didn't really get a whole lot done since the last detailing part, but that's okay. We don't have to get an insane amount done. If we come over to this airfield, which is the first thing I said I wanted to touch up, I suppose we'd want to take a look at some of these aircraft assets that we have available to us, such as something like this hangar. We could probably even fit large hangars over here. With the road right here, it kind of makes a little bit of sense that maybe you would occasionally drive the plane across to, I don't know, get maintenance or repairs of some sort. And we could even park a few cargo planes maybe in areas where they might fit. I don't know about right here. I think that's a bit too close to the runway, but there's some things we could think about. All right, so decorating this airport was actually pretty difficult considering, well, I think you pretty much want to keep most of the airport area clean. But what I did do is I added in a fence that goes around almost all of it. I really like it. I think it really adds to it. I added in this little area over here where we have a hangar and a parked cargo plane, as well as what we can use in our imagination as access from the runway to across the street to this area. Maybe this is like a repair depot, a little kind of hangar, a mechanic's hangar or something. Whatever you want to think about it. I don't know what it is, but it's over there. Now on this end, I made this kind of like the employee parking and lunch break area, where maybe this is where most of the employees come in. They park in this little stall area, and then they have to go walk up to maybe like this check-in booth or something, and then they can report to their proper cargo aircraft stand. And right over here, I used the food truck plaza because I have a feeling that's probably going to be the most likely type of food in this area is, well, food trucks. And so at every single entrance and exit to the, well, every single entrance, there's only 4 entrances and exits, or 2 of each, I should say. So at every entrance and exit, I have 2 of these little buildings. I used the ice cream stand prop. I believe it's, yeah, ice cream stand number 2. That's the prop I use to pretend it might be the place where people have to check in and out of this cargo airport. In between the cargo stands, I kind of put these little areas like this. Maybe this is where the employees might take their break. Maybe this is where, if you are a company, a delivery driver or something, you come in and check in at your aircraft stand after you check into the airport. And maybe this is where you unload your gear, the staging area or something. And from here, they might take it onto the plane or directly onto the plane or something. With some benches and things like that, some bollards to make sure the delivery trucks don't drive too far forward. I've got one here. I've got one over here. I tried to make them a little different because we have the earthquake sensor right in the middle. I should probably align this a little better, make it look a little prettier, something like that. I put the bollards in front this time just to protect the sensor as well. I think these are kind of some neat staging areas or something, a little bit of shade to them. Same thing as the other side, I got the entrance and exit points, maybe where you check in or something. And I decided to actually add trees and plants and tall grass around the back side of this warehouse. I know we're getting pretty close to the runway, but I'm pretty sure there are airports with plenty of trees within the vicinity. Oh, actually, I realized I didn't even do anything around over here, so I will, besides that, so I will finish this and be right back. Alright, so I pretty much just added trees and rocks over here with a little bit of tall grass around and near some of the fencing. I didn't want to go too much into the pollution because, as you could see from this one right here, they start to look a little bad. That's okay, I just wanted to pretty up around this place just a little bit, not too much. I didn't want to do anything in here. For one, I don't have, as a part of the mod free thing, I don't have surface painter. And I don't have any sort of, I mean, I guess I could, if I really wanted to hate myself, I could take something like these bluestone pavers and fill this entire area in with them, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I want to do that. Now, in order to protect people from the rail line over here, I've added just a really cheap fence. So I guess it's not really protecting people, but it gives people the illusion of protection. And I've kind of done it up around this warehouse area as well as behind these places to prevent them from walking out the back here. And when I actually get into prettying up this area over here, that's when I'll extend a fence further down, continuing to protect these people. But for now, I think this is pretty good. And I actually had to make a change in this airport, and that was to this large hangar that's now complaining about a terminal. Didn't have the ability to have its trash taken out. I just extended our fake runway across to help this place out a little bit. Oh yeah, in case you don't know, cargo aircraft stands, they don't actually require a terminal to work. Active flight 7, 4, 1, 8, so you don't have to worry too much. Just put them down on any road you want. They'll complain, but they'll still work. I think I forgot to mention something in between this one and the last one, was that this little road right here, this airport stand won't work without that little road there, because they have to turn right, make a U-turn, and then turn into it. Without that road there, the game found no way to deliver any goods to this particular aircraft stand, so it was kind of dead. So if you are going to be putting down aircraft stands, you got to make sure that the road extends almost all the way down to the end of it. For now, I think that cargo airport is perfectly fine. I think it looks kind of cool. I really like the idea of having these little like cargo loading and unloading places where you might check your cargo into one of these booths over here before it gets delivered to the airplane. So I think I'm now going to move on to this area. As far as in between here and the road, I think I'm just going to do kind of something similar to over here where I put down rocks, maybe a couple of these low vegetation that isn't affected by pollution. Just a little bit of that right in here. And as far as back here, I do want to protect these people from the rail line. So I am going to be adding in a forestry fence. Or I think actually, you know what? A park fence would be nice. I think it would be kind of nice to allow them to watch the train go by. And just some trees to surround it. Maybe reduce the train's noise pollution or something. So yeah, I will be right back. Alright, so I've got this area all done up over here. I decided to line the outside of this railway with some wild conifer just to maybe help break the wind from, in case it ever gets too strong so it doesn't knock over the train or something. Then on the inside you can see I got the flowers with the young lindens. Maybe that'll help a little bit with sound, but I wanted to leave some sightline between them and the train, just that way when they're hanging out over here they could see it drive by. Tried to fill in between the buildings a little bit with some trees. That was a little difficult. I got to decorate over here just a little bit with some rocks, young linden, ground foliage, because we've got these two locations over here that have these tables out back, and that just looks really cool. So I thought I would fill in this area to maybe give them even more area to relax or something. Now behind the open air mall, I decided to put a bunch of these tall trees like this. I wanted to hide them even more from maybe the passenger train, because this is kind of like the shipment area back here. And I wanted to have kind of like some kind of fake access to it back there. I couldn't get the road too close or else, well, as you can see, there's people still trying to use it. Where if I got it too close, people would actually enter this building over on this little corner here or walk into it from this side. So I had to back it out, and apparently a path does just fine at preventing them from crossing over that fence like that. In between this place and the road, I've got a bunch of rock sculptures, things like that, just to kind of look kind of funny, kind of cool maybe. So yeah, I think this commercial area, these warehouses, and this airport over here are looking pretty good. I wish I can get rid of the power line, but I don't know if I can fill this area in with anything or what I would fill it in with. So here comes the monster of the build here, where we're gonna have to figure out this entire commercial area. We're gonna have to wrap this amusement park. I haven't thought of anything to put in this area, so I think I will just keep it open. Maybe I'll put like a couple food stalls over here or something, so they can grab some food and relax in the grass. Yeah, I don't really have too much in my mind for what I'd like over here, so I think it's just gonna be a feel it out as I go. So I will be right back. this area kind of done up a little bit. Got some spaces filled in and whatnot. So I kind of wanted to point out our budget. So I believe the first 2 titles I had chosen for the last video I put out insinuated that we were going to be in the negatives of budget, and I actually thought we were. I've since renamed it to something else now that I've noticed our income is clearly positive, going from 29.2 to now 29.9. I think I saw us go over 30 million and then down again. So I think there's just really big dips, and when those dips happen, it's big, and I think that is what I was noticing last part. So if you had the clickbait title, sorry. I've since changed it. I didn't realize I genuinely believed we had a low budget, but it looks like it's perfectly fine now. But yeah, so let's get into what we've done. Let's start right in front of the amusement park here. I just added a small row of young lindens. I didn't want to add too much down here in front of the place because I wanted to keep that clear sight line with not a whole lot there. I've also gone around and added a fence around where I can. For instance, I can't fit it back here between these buildings, so we'll just have to use our imagination and pretend something's there. But I've gone around, added in the whole thing between it and the concert venue, over here. Same thing with the fire watchtower. I had it in a place where I couldn't sneak a fence behind it, so we'll just have to pretend. And then I moved over here into the airport area, and over here, I just put down a bunch of low-lying vegetation and rocks just to kind of fill this area in. I didn't put anything else up front because I wanted to maintain the clear sight lines to these planes. And I feel like I actually should have probably put a fence over here. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I put the fence on the right-hand side over here just to kind of enclose this area and keep people from going over here and climbing all over the plane. I didn't want to do the left-hand side yet because I still have a whole bunch of zoning and things to do over there. So once all that over there is done, then we can finish out the decorations over here. I've changed all the trees on all these roads to young lindens just to keep things small. And up along this road and in the train area, you can see I filled it all in with a bunch of trees and stuff. I think it looks a lot better. If we come down, it might be really cool to ride from the train, see these trees on your right-hand side or something. And then down here in front of the venue, I actually added in a bunch of benches, a grill, a kiosk, and what I would assume are something like merchant booths where you come to the concert and as you're leaving, you can stop by a booth, pick up a shirt or whatever, a CD. I don't know if they sell CDs anymore, but whatever it is, you could pick it up over here. And then I wanted to also line it with trees to help protect the sound a little bit from the amusement park, going both ways. Amusement park sound into the concert, concert into the amusement. And then back here is kind of where I wanted to place the, maybe like the band area where they come to relax or something, get away from the crowd or the show. So I put up these barriers right in front with some lights in the corners, a couple tables for them to sit at with some maybe folding chairs that they brought with them. And I think we have to kind of pretend that these food trucks are the, like the band buses or whatever that they tour around in. Pretend that that's where they park. I just wanted to make use of this little kind of alcove or this little kind of back area. And I figured that was a pretty good way to do it. I put a bunch of stuff in front of this hangar over here because there was room. I put a whole bunch of food trucks as well as some tables, some more lights, a little trash can. We don't really have concrete pavers, so I'd use the cobblestone ones. You can definitely tell the difference, but I'm okay with it. And as far as this little back area here, I just put one single path through and I just put down a couple props. I didn't want to go too crazy. I wanted to leave this area mostly open as a relaxation type area. So I think that's that for this. I'm happy with it. I think it's looking okay. I don't think I can really complain about anything. And I think we're going to get into what we can do with the airport, which I'm not quite sure is a whole lot. I think we can fill out our decorations up until the end of this runway here. And I think that's where I'd like to end all those decorations. But as far as coming out onto the left, I don't want to yet. I think maybe we could just square it off. I think that'll be fine. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get into this and I will be right back. So it turns out I completely forgot to even record anything I did when I was placing the stuff around the airport here. But as you can kind of tell, I extended out the terminal just a little bit, put a airline lounge on it and a few parked planes outside of it. Maybe this is some of the storage over here or something. I don't know. I don't know why I'd want to park planes over here, but it is what it is. And I've added the airport fence all the way around. I didn't mind squaring it off over here. I thought that was perfectly fine. But as soon as we got over here to the road, I wanted to round it out. Now I couldn't actually fit it between this hangar and the road, so I brought it up in a way where it looks like it could be potentially running out and into the spiked fence over here, or maybe we can even pretend that these are gates like this over here, where we're trying to limit who comes in and out over here. Maybe that might be for the employees, plane maintenance, who knows. Same thing, just kept it going along just to keep in with that same theme, and then wrapped it around all over here. I wanted to take as little space over here as possible because I don't know how much room over in this area I'm going to want or need in the future. So I didn't want to make this giant square off. I wanted to kind of leave some space. That's pretty much about all I changed. I mean, I added some low ground lying plants all along the front over here with some rocks. I didn't want to add anything in front of the airport yet. I do have some ideas, and I kind of want to leave it for a future episode where we might put stuff in these areas. So yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot we could get done this episode. We didn't really get a whole lot done before, at least not in the sense of large areas being completed. At least areas that we can add trees and stuff to, because we can't really do anything with airports. We kind of want to leave them a little empty. But yeah, this one was kind of boring. I think in the future, this is the kind of stuff that I want to do for maybe like live streams or something. But for now, I think I'll just keep doing it with these episodes until a future date. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.